is really better to be safe than sorry, because this next story will really show you how dangerous the conditions can be out there during a storm.
We were talking about parasailers who were out there earlier and having a lot of fun, but certainly we were also talking about how dangerous that can be. And Peter Dench is on Fort Lauderdale Beach, and Peter firsthand witnessed something pretty dramatic and scary out there. Peter.
Absolutely, Antonio, and that's why we're showing you these pictures. We were on Fort Lauderdale Beach about to do, a live shot on the goings-on here in Las Olas, when the most extraordinary event happened in front of us. Suddenly, a huge gust of wind swept up, came at us, and my photographer, Yusith Osorio, had the presence of mind to take some pictures. As you'll see right now, it showed a parasailer being dragged up into the air, being thrown down onto the beach, being dragged and sucked back up into the air over our live truck and then onto and across Las Olas, or A1A here. He was actually dragged into a building where he let go after this extraordinary event. We're not sure exactly what happened here, whether it might have been a sudden rain burst or perhaps something stronger than that. But we show you this to point out how careful you have to be. Amid all of this, we've seen people all day, dozens, in fact, perhaps up to 100 people swimming amid conditions of being very careful, lifeguards say, but also parasailing has been going on non-stop all day because of the conditions. So the parasailer who was swept into this building, we're told, is going to be okay. Now, that is not according to the officials. That's according to his close friends who watched paramedics monitoring him before they took him off to the hospital. So, again, an extraordinary event happening right here in front of us on A1A, and we show this just to point out how dangerous these winds can be. Again, no serious problems so far out here, according to lifeguards. They've had the red flag up all day. No problems with rip currents, but that extraordinary burst that we just saw was something very unpredictable and certainly an example of what can happen right here. We're live in Fort Lauderdale Beach. Peter Dench, CBS 4 News.
Peter, we were forewarned that you had some pretty dramatic pictures, but we didn't expect anything quite that dramatic. It's amazing that guy will be okay.
Well, we were very worried about this poor guy, and in fact, both of my photographers with me, out of their concern, ran across the street to make sure everything was okay. We were the first ones to actually see this, but his friends assured me that he's going to be okay. He has a lot of bruises, cuts, was not lucid, was sort of semi-conscious at first, but again, they came back and reiterated that despite it all, he's going to be okay. But it was breathtaking to see that, to look up as I'm about to go live in the sky, see this man flying over, and I thought, oh my God, that poor soul.
Yeah, and I'm surprised
he's going to be okay right in front of us, right in front of us.
And right there when he hits the ground, I'm surprised that he didn't let go and that he still held on.
Well, it's kind of like a deer in headlights. Something like this happens. I don't know if you can equate it to any time you've been out there, perhaps water skiing, and you should have let go, but you didn't. And that was the sensation we got, that here he was and just holding on. And as he was holding on, he was being dragged across the asphalt. And I'm thinking, my gosh, that must hurt. But he came to rest, thank God, right up against this building. And I must say, within about 2 minutes, perhaps 60 seconds, firefighter paramedics from Fort Lauderdale were on the scene here taking care of him.
And Peter, so because of that, and based on what happened, I mean, we do know that so many people try to take advantage of these waves and the wind gusts to surf and do things. Obviously, you don't expect that to happen, but are they telling people now to get out of the water?
Well, people stay in the water regardless. All day we've seen the red flags, and lifeguards say that this simply means swim at your own risk. You're taking your chances. The lifeguards here at Fort Lauderdale Beach go off duty at 5 o'clock, so you are taking a risk at all that. But many people out here are tourists who think that this weather is nothing compared to, say, New York or Pennsylvania or Chicago, where Antonio has worked. They say this is nothing. Of course, they also don't have a sense of what a lot of these hurricanes can do, I think, because they don't live here. But despite that, people have been swimming all day and windsurfing, parasailing all day. But everything seemed to be going so smoothly until this one incredible incident.
Yeah, incredible it was. Thank you, Peter. It took our breath away here in the studio.
Yeah,
I can only imagine what it was like being there. Thanks again, Peter.